faces a Monday deadline to explain to the ICC why it did not arrest Sudanese President Al-Bashir when he attended the African Union Summit in Sandton, Johannesburg in June. At the time, South Africa ignored its own courts when, as a signatory of the Rome Statute, it failed to carry out a warrant of arrest. Al-Bashir is sought by the ICC on charges of alleged crimes against humanity. At the time, South Africa's position was that Al-Bashir was in the country as a guest of and at the invitation of the African Union. Now, a request by the International Criminal Court to address the Pan-African Parliament's session this week has also been turned down by the organization. The ICC's request was raised at a meeting of African ambassadors last week. While there were some divisions among the diplomatic corps on whether or not to allow ICC Chief Fatou Bensouda to attend the PAP summit, Sudan's ambassador reminded other members of the African diplomatic corps that they are bound first by the African Union's position of non-cooperation at the ICC.
There is an African position with regard to the ICC. And the African position was adopted in CERT, the African Union Summit in CERT, and later on reiterated in Kampala, in Kinshasa, in Addis Ababa twice, and even here in last June in Johannesburg. So the position of Africa is very, very clear with regard to the ICC. That's non-cooperation. The resolutions by the African heads of state, very clear, non-cooperation with the ICC.
The furor continued to rage on the international stage at the United Nations last week, where Sudan's position regarding the ICC was again reaffirmed by that country's representative.
In this regard, we firmly reiterate on this podium our categorical rejection of all attempts to politicize and circumvent the provisions of the international law, citing as an example the relationship between the Security Council and the International Criminal Court, in respect of which experience has shown again and again that the scourge of politicization has turned into a tool for targeting African leaders in particular. And you may have noted the resolution adopted by the African Union in this regard, most notably the recent resolution adopted by African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, which was subsequently endorsed in the most recent summit of Johannesburg.
Meanwhile, ICC boss Fatou Bensouda has also hit back at those labeling her a traitor. Bensouda says that she too is bound by oath to execute her duties without favor as chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court.
I mean, it doesn't bother me because I'm not a traitor. There are people who are interested in saying that because of, as I told you, the propaganda. They do not want the work of the ICC to be done or to be done fairly. They want me to be to favor some people and not. And when I took this office, I said I was going to do my work without fear or favor.
According to officials at the Pan-African Parliament, Sudanese President Al-Bashir will not attend the PAP summit in Johannesburg. Dumalo Mukhlaudi, SABC News, Johannesburg.